I'm Marty Cohn, and welcome to PR Benefits, a show that explores the role of public relations in the COVID-19 era. I've been a PR practitioner for over 45 years, helping a wide array of organizations successfully communicate their messages to targeted audiences. I mistakenly thought that 9/11 would be the watershed event in my lifetime. Communicating in the aftermath of that tragic event was challenging. Then came the global economic downturn of 2008 and more lessons in crisis communications. However, 12 years later, we have the coronavirus pandemic, and new challenges in uncharted waters have emerged. My guest today is Bernardo Fiol Costa, a seasoned public relations professional in San Juan, Puerto Rico, who is president of the Big Think Group. Bernardo is a licensed public relations practitioner with over 25 years of experience in public relations and marketing communications. Prior to founding the Big Think Group in 2003, Bernardo served as communications manager for Suncom AT&T Wireless. Before joining Suncom Wireless in 1999, he was communications director of the municipality of San Juan. Prior to his government experience, he worked at Hill & Knowlton, Puerto Rico, and Gray Public Relations. Bernardo has received numerous awards from the Public Relations Association of Puerto Rico, including 2014 Best Public Relations Campaign and 2 Paco Ola Awards, the highest recognition awards or recognition bestowed by the association, as well as honors from the Puerto Rico Sales and Marketing Executive Association and a Platinum Marcom Award from the Association of Marketing and Communication Professionals. Welcome, Bernardo.
Good morning. How are you, Marty? Good to see you.
I'm good. I thank you for taking time out in San Juan, Puerto Rico to be on PR Benefits. So, the introduction was to prove to the world that I don't lie when I say I'm only talking to seasoned PR professionals. But let's get for a second, how did you get started in public relations?
Well, I started actually through internships when I was in college. Actually, my first one was after high school graduation. I entered, I found an opportunity with a PR agency. That was my first stint in the industry. Then throughout college, I had many summer internships, and that really gave me the opportunity to understand the ins and outs of this profession. One thing is what you learn in the classroom, and another thing is what you learn on the street. And this is a profession that you really need to get your feet wet and your heart and your hands dirty to understand if you're up for the challenge. Because as you know, this is a very challenging and enriching at the same time a profession, but it's a lot of work, and you really need to love it. So I started with internships, and once I graduated from Marquette University in Milwaukee back in 1993, I started as a junior account executive, in Hill & Knowlton Public Relations, getting great experience with many clients, and then I went up and worked at another agency, Gray Public Relations, and worked at the government, and then at the private sector with a wireless company that now is T-Mobile. It was bought by T-Mobile. So it's been, as you said, more than 25 years with a great experiences, and now having my own business since 2003, and helping clients in the private sector, public sector, and non-for-profit has been a wonderful experience.
Great. So now, as I had mentioned, you've won some awards, you've received some recognition, but what do you consider some of the highlights of your, I'm going to watch this, pre-COVID-19 career?
Well, pre-COVID, I mean, it's 2 decades of it. Every experience I've had obviously has been has had many milestones and has helped me grow in my career. I don't want to say that, oh, yeah, man, the awards are good and, you know, they look good on paper and everything, and it's a recognition of your work. But you know, really the sometimes, you know, the behind the scenes work that we do is even more enriching and more fulfilling. You know, having the opportunity to work with many clients in different industries, from an agency perspective, from a private industry perspective, handling many crises has been always a milestone. And obviously pre-COVID, you know, here in Puerto Rico, it's been one crisis after the other, with the hurricanes in 2017, then the summer of 2019 with the governor resigning, earthquakes at the beginning of this year, and now COVID. And one of the things that we've seen is how public relations is so important throughout these milestones.
Really?
And if there's a profession that, I don't want to say guarantee because there's no guarantee in life, but that can give you an edge in working and having a job and keeping a job is ours, is public relations. Because, you know, throughout all these crises in different ways, we've been managing crisis management in a variety of ways, messaging strategy. And fortunately, we've been able to work. We've been able to keep paying our employees. We've been able to keep serving our clients with our challenges. You know, with Hurricane Maria, our office was devastated and we weren't able to get back to work, you know, to our physical office. So we had to rent out a space. And now we're working out of our house, working out of our homes, but we keep working. It's just a matter of being flexible and adapting to these challenges, as well as we're doing with our clients. So pre-COVID, I mean, we've had a lot of experiences with different clients, with campaigns that we've done, with different projects. But obviously, in our case, we've had our share of crises and challenges for the past 3 years.
So let me ask you. So, all right. So now let's talk about during COVID. So the experience that you had dealing with all these crises, you know, in Puerto Rico, is that what are you doing for your clients now? Is it you know, this is just another crisis, or is there more? Are there more things that you're doing for your clients besides just dealing with the crisis of COVID-19?
Well, first of all, let's talk about the mindset. When beginning of March, we were seeing that this was going to happen. And my message to all my employees is that, guys, we've been through this. We've been through a lot. So we can do this. We can handle this. How, when, we'll figure it out, but we can do this. So that was the first thing, that you need to change the mindset of ourselves and your team, because of the past experiences we've had, that we can do this. And you have to convey that same message to your clients so that they know that they're in a good company. So the mindset is really important. Our government announced the lockdown on Sunday, March 15th, effective immediately. So there was no way to prepare. The week before, we knew something could have happened. So I remember that Friday, I told everyone, take your laptops, take everything, you know, essential from your desk. And because I have a feeling that this weekend there, and it happened. So I'll answer that question in two parts. One is how we've been able to operate,
right?
Because it's critical in order that what we're doing in order to provide our service to the clients. I haven't seen my team in 8 weeks and a half. I mean, I've seen them through a video conference, but I haven't seen them physically. And there have been many, many lessons. One is that you have to be more organized than ever. There has to be a structure, there has to be a discipline. Two, you have to over communicate and not assume that they got the message via text or WhatsApp or Slack or whatever.
Right.
You have to set expectations and deadlines.
Right.
Because I mean, you just can't walk to the next door and knock on the office and come, you know. So it's been a process for us, from them to me and from me to them, you know, as a team,
Right.
to work around that. And it has worked. We've had our, you know, at the beginning while we were adjusting, but it's been very good. And also, and I, you know, there's many articles about this. Managing with empathy. Empathy is critical in these times. I mean, not everyone is handling the situation the same way.
Right.
So empathy has been very important with our team and with our clients.
Right.
And obviously, from a client perspective, we've had to manage the situation depending on the nature of the clients. We have as a client the Puerto Rico Science, Technology, and Research Trust,
Right.
Which is a non-for-profit that dictates the public policy of investigation and research in Puerto Rico. So we've, through one of their programs, which is the Puerto Rico Public Health Trust, they're taking a center stage with all the testing and contact tracing. So
Wow.
we've been really immersed in this issue from a science point of view.
Right.
So it's been very, very interesting. So we're handling not the crisis, but the issue, you know, and it's the issue about the crisis and looking for a solution. And you've seen, you know, how governments have stumbled here and there. So we're becoming a facilitator to not only educate, but get into the real deal of testing and contact tracing, which is critical for this issue. We also handle McDonald's in Puerto Rico, and obviously, you know, restaurants are still closed in Puerto Rico. They only operate through, you know, the drive-through windows or takeout.
Right.
So it's been a lot of messaging, a lot of educating the consumer, employee morale, etc. T-Mobile, we have T-Mobile as a client. It's been a challenge for them because the stores are closed, shopping centers are closed. Right. So, and also with the case of McDonald's and probably all of our clients, we're doing a lot of community work, and I'll get into that later. But from the T-Mobile perspective and from a telecommunications and the industry point of view, is educating the public and the government that it's technology and telecommunications is an essential service. It's critical to do what we're doing right now.
Right.
So the stores were able to open 2 weeks ago. They were closed for 6 weeks. So it's been a lot of it, you know, issues management through media relations and lobbying, et cetera, to let the government know that, you know, that it's critical, not only that you have the telecommunications infrastructure, but at the same time, you know, the service, because people need tablets to go to work and school and telemedicine, et cetera. So right. Depending on the clients, it's been very interesting because it's been very broad what we've been doing from the needs and the nature of each of our clients.
Right. So let me ask you though, has there been, you were talking about the need for communicating, and is there been any decrease in, like, is your newspaper, what modalities are you using to communicate? Has that been any change during this?
Absolutely. I mean, you've seen a dramatic increase in online media, in
right.
social media platforms,
right?
TV. However, print newspapers, it has decreased a lot.
Right.
People are not reading the paper.
Right.
In Puerto Rico, we have 4 major newspapers. Of those 4, 3 are free. Right. And people get them in the stoplights, but if we're not driving, so are not going to the supermarket or pharmacy. So, And the newspaper business has, the print media has gotten a huge hit. However, we've seen an increase in digital media, in online media consumption, social media platforms. So we've shifted our communication strategy to even TV, doing online shows, to make sure that our message is conveyed through all these digital channels. And I'm sure in the States has been, very similar.
Yeah, I mean, the problem in the States is, the newspapers, every day it seems you're hearing about more layoffs at the newspapers, and they're getting very thin. I could tell you in my daily newspaper, the Brattleboro Reformer, by the time I walk to the end of my driveway and come back, I've read the paper, because there just isn't that much. But I think that it's interesting about this reliance, and we're kind of rediscovering all these other modalities. So that leads. Let me. There was another point that you were gonna make before I get to my last question, but you were saying something about community service. Is that it? Is that a change? Is there more community service?
There is, because obviously there's a lot of need, and depending on the client's nature and their objectives. Obviously, McDonald's, we've delivered food to different non-for-profit entities. T-Mobile, we've delivered equipment to many entities and NGOs as well, wireless equipment, so they're able to communicate and they're able to have keep them connected. Clients have donated to the food bank, Feeding America, for example, our local chapter, because there is a lot of need. There's a lot of people that are without their jobs. They did not the government help has not arrived or did not qualify. So that's another area in PR that, COVID or non-COVID, we always do, which is community relations.
Right.
And social responsible programs. And we've been very active, all of our clients. And that's one of the things that we've learned throughout all these crises that we've experienced, especially with the hurricanes. I remember all our clients just shifted their mindset. And okay, we're not going to do this right now, this promotion. How can we help? Let's allocate the budget to helping communities rebuild themselves. We're going to celebrate this huge convention or event. It's not going to happen, but let's use that budget to help communities. Help me develop a solid community rebuilding program for XYZ communities. And that's what we did. So clients understand the value of helping others. And that's where we come into, in guiding them in a sound, strategic way to get their message across and do good, basically.
That's fantastic. All right, that's a perfect segue to my last question. All right. So now, what do you think is going to be the role of public relations as we move into what's been called the new normal? What are we going to bring forth when we hopefully emerge from this?
Well, let's see what we find out when we emerge from this. Public relations will continue to demonstrate its value from a crisis management perspective, from a messaging strategy, from crafting messages. Our role as advisors, as counselors, will take on a stronger position. Media consumption will change, will continue to change. And we know how to craft a message depending on the media, depending on the outlet. We do have to become much more digital savvy. I'm not saying that we're not, but obviously, we need to understand consumer behavior. not only in how they get the news, but in how they consume products and services in order to attract them and as customers. So our role will become, I'm optimistic that we will continue to solidify and to have a stronger seat at the table in a variety of areas, from a community relations, from an employee relations, obviously crisis and issues management. So I'm optimistic. How much will that be? Will our business be hit as any other? Absolutely, and we've had our share of budget cuts. Obviously, it's not all perfect, but we have to be ready for that.
Well said, Bernardo. Thank you so much. Bernardo Fiol Costa, president of the Big Think Group in San Juan, Puerto Rico. Thank you for being on PR Benefits. And Bernardo, stay healthy.
I will. And you
All
too,
right.
Marty. Thank you for the opportunity, and muchas gracias.
Okay. Bye now.